everybody. Welcome back to the motherfucking stream. Get some more time in the sim. Practices some flows, practices some procedures. Send out my shit to everybody. Today, nothing too crazy. Heading over Eugene over here. Haven't looked at the departure procedures yet. Let's take a look here. Looks like there's a couple of textual DPs. Nothing too crazy. Let's take a look at the Eugene 1 departure looks like. Let's rather south, probably take off only 16, probably 16 right. Heading 164 vector design route, maintain 9,000. Nothing too crazy. So I think we'll go for that. Parachute areas out there. Coming on the skis 5 arrival. Flows south in Salt Lake right now, so it should be fine. So I think that'll work. Sorry, I'm just getting the tweet sent out here. Okay, let's get the checklist kicked up here. Alright, that looks great. Let's get the paths all set up here. checklist guy, jump into it, and we'll start off some checklists. I do not believe these are super accurate, but they'll work for right now. Just launch now, maintenance status check. Let's try my old Spotify a little bit here. Get some music going. The office running. Haven't been screwed yet. Battery 1 and 2 verify off. They are both off. DC fuel pump, will set that to on. AC fuel pumps 1 and 2, set those both to on. Windshield wipers verify off. Hydraulic system pumps 1 and 2, set those to on. Landing gear lever, we will verify. Fuck's the damn thing. There it is. Landing gear lever down. Can't see shit on my screen. That looks great. Power plant stop 1 and 2. So we'll set to stop. Those look good. Speed brake lever is stowed. 0. Thrust lever will set to idle. Verify that's working. Perfect. Battery 1 and 2, go and flip those guys on. Battery's coming on, that looks great. Avionics, wait for that to hit up. APU generator bus is clicked in. Electrical power air conditioning, we'll go ahead and keep that off because we're not going to run AC on the battery. That looks great. Alright, before APU start, fuel quantity is set. Altimeter's current weather at Eugene right now showing an altimeter of 3021, temperature dew point 1. 3021's loaded down. Passenger signs, go set those up to arm. Flip on the no smoking and sterile cockpit. Departure view, we'll set that once we have the APU on. Doors when it's locked. Red beacon. Let's set that to on. Off the nav lights. All the other lights are off. Parking brake set before APU start checklist complete. APU startup. AC power set to auto. 1 and 2. Internal generator 1 and 2. It's good. Transformer rectifier unit 1 and 2 are set on. Essential bus tie is set to auto. AC fuel pumps 1 and 2 are on. Nav lights go to flip on. APU is go to start. 1 1000, 2 1000. See, this is the problem. It doesn't always kick over. I don't know why it goes to 31 degrees centigrade, but there we go. 1 1000, 2 1000. Make sure it's working. Light off. That looks great. Then we go to the electrical system. Just can't look at that. That's cool. Temp out about 400. I'm assuming that's within the limits. Cool if you could look at the electrical system, you know, not that we need it or anything, it's just critical. Okay, APU is on. And electrical system. Things in the green. APU, battery 1 and 2 are charged up 25 volts, 165 degrees Celsius. 116 volts should be 120, 400 hertz, 9 kilovolt amps. AC bus 1, 2, essential bus, standby bus, transformer rectifier unit. Getting all the buses there, it looks good, no brakes. Alright, APU bleed air, we'll verify set to on. Displays on, verify, check 1, 2, that looks great. Now that we have some dyno juice running the system, let's get the route set in. Let's get performance first. Date October navigation database expires 5th of October. That's no good, but we'll assume it's fine. 11:39 local time. That's not quite right because we should be that's right. Non-active navigation database. It's the expired one. Great. Fucking who knows? Mess looks good. Data load looks great. Route going to KSLC. Not going to put an alternate route today. Data link flight plan, we can request it. I don't know how that works. Let's say that we're flight 4440 today. Set up the departure here. Expecting runway 16 right. And we'll depart via Eugene 1. We'll apply that guy. And we'll just skip the... Normally we wouldn't get cleared for this, but let's just load it up right away. Start the ILS 16, we'll do vectors to final. I think we're on the skis 5, Burley intersection, sorry, transition, and apply. That looks great. Let's go to the route, make sure that looks good. Flight plan, Burley, I believe that's the route we had. We have India, Lima, Romeo in between. Not a big deal. Let's just throw that in there. India, Lima, Romeo. And we'll put that in between Burley transition. That'll be the US version, yes. US version, yes. Okay, sweet. That looks great. Let's go get the performance set up here. Departure limitations, B feed plus 10, that seems fine. We'll learn about all that later. Initialization here, runway heading to 160. Pressure altitude of, yeah, it's about 100 feet, elevation 366, winds are calm. Cool. Okay, whatever. Let's go 160 at 1 knot. There we go. Dry takeoff, that looks great. Flap set 2, takeoff, center gravity 21.9%. Temperature outside, takeoff temperature 2 degrees Celsius, that looks great. Oh, I need to get the weights in there. Thrust rating select should be 88% auto, that looks great. Takeoff 1, no idea what any of this fucking shit means, but it'll be cool. K0 fuel weight, let's just say it's 69,000. I'm sure there's a way to calculate that. That looks great. Math adds up. Ballpark. Cruise winds are going to be cruising at 37,000. And I have no idea what I guess it's like 250 at 25. I don't know. I don't really know if that makes a difference. That should automatically upload. But great. Departure limits look good. There we go. Okay. Load it up. V1, 138, rotate to 142. Commit speed 144, and single engine fly straight out speed of 199. Climb to 503, transition 18,000, looks good. Not going to set up any of that. I'm not going to set up any of this. I'm going to skip all that. Okay, perfect. Don't need an alternate today, so we'll just go ahead and not worry about that. Okay, let's brief this departure procedure out of here. Do a full flight on the iPad, but let's use the web version. And let's add a procedure on this. Should be a way to add a procedure. If there's not a way, that's immensely stupid. Procedure, departure, Eugene 1. Okay, it's the Eugene 1 out of Oregon. Date is good. It's a vector SID, so we'll give ourselves some vectors. Takeoff minimum 16 right, 335 feet per nautical mile. Easily make that. 16 right, climb heading 164 or Assigned heading for vectors to assigned route, maintain 9000, expect file to clear altitude lost comms. We can run through that if we run into that. No big deal. From there, we'll get radar vectors to India Lima Romeo, little Burns. Wild Horse VOR, cool. Oh, don't want that. Cancel. Oh, what's that? Alright, we're going to minimize that. That looks great. I think we can go ahead. Actually, let's go brief the taxi here as well while we're here. So we got 4 flight loaded up. Okay, generic taxi diagram over here. I think at ramp 3, probably getting Foxtrot to Alpha or Echo to Alpha. We'll take Alpha up to Alpha 1 for full length. Looks like you have a little bit of displace threshold there. 8,000 foot runway should be plenty for us. And that looks great. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself as we get our clearance here. Alright, gave myself a clearance here. Looks good. Clearance full weight height of 0620. It is 0548, so we'll get one-way taxi. It should be plenty time. Alright, engine 1 and 2 ignition is set to auto. And auto. Start engine 2. Get the timer started. This shit never fucking works. Because there's a light or some shit. Okay, we'll start a timer here. 1,000, 2,000. Let's see here. 1,000, 2,000. Oh boy. I do not work. 1,000. 2,000. Oh shit, the sim's not fucking broken, is it? Oh no, it's gonna be bleeder valve is open. Who fucking fucked with that shit? That's what we want. Hang on, 1,000, 2,000. Why you do this? APU's on, right? does this always happen with this fucking sim, man? No movement on the inside. Let's try engine 1. Am I missing something obvious here? Batteries are fucking charged up. Fuel. Plenty of fuel. Pack's looking fine. Good God, what the fuck? Shit is absolutely early access. I don't want to have to. Okay, let's just do this then. Control E. Just let the fucking game start the engines. Control E. Control E. This would really blow ass if this shit is not gonna work again, man. Guys, come on now, brother. Come on, man. Why you doing this to me, man? What's up, that guy, Subi? Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, buddy. Doing great, man. Trying to fly this ERJ, but this thing is not starting. I've been having consistent issues with it. Pretty good model, but just kind of blows in some ways. So I have to load this aircraft back in and put in a new flight plan. I don't know why. It's got a lot of potential. Let's get the United one in here, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's see if this loads up. This could be a mistake. Let's see if it loads up if the engine started. That's probably more important. Oh boy. Could be a long evening of simulator. Sounds like the engine started. Oh, now I just have to hope everything else turns on correctly. Well, can't only be so accurate. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's get the dome light on so we can see something. Okay, we'll just say that that's how the whole thing ran. Gotcha. Let's see here. Let me crank up my volume. Alright, let's see here. Let's run this real quick. Having a lot of technical issues today. Let's turn this Wi-Fi down a little bit too, if like that thing's just cranked. Alright, gotcha. Let's turn this up, let's get this all tuned in, dials twisted. Alright, that looks great. I'm assuming this is all busted. Let's set this all up again. Oh no. Absolutely gonna have to do this, huh? Yep, alright, let's just quickly fill this in. Who cares if it's super accurate? It'll be 37,000 feet. Let's just throw in some ballpark cruise winds. And let's go to taking off 16 right. We'll say winds are calm. And that looks great. That looks great. Flaps 2 all look fine. Those numbers are basically exactly the same. That looks great there. Cruise looking good. And then route, we're going to, kind of doing this backwards, but whatever. Going to Salt Lake today. got myself as 4440, even though that does not matter at all. Departure, taking off 16 right, Eugene 1. Looks like something loaded up there. Let's take a look at the map. And let's zoom her way out. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And let's go to the flight plan here. I believe we got Wild Horse. Whew, let's see. Let me crank my microphone up a little bit. I've been having issues with this mic. I'm also talking quiet too. Alrighty. I have been on Flight Sim. I was on Flight Sim X for probably 20 years or so. Never streamed or anything. And then once I started flying, I've been haven't played a whole lot of Flight Sim, but just, you know, mixing work and stuff. All right, let's set the flight plan here. Let's just give ourselves an arrival. Let's just make it easy tonight. Vectors to final, skis 5, Burley transition. Let's throw that in there. Okay, that looks good. And we'll say here, you a big flight simmer, my friend? Kind of nerdy when it comes to that. We don't need an alternate today. That looks good. Okay, we'll say that's gonna work out fine for us right now. I gave myself a fake clearance to 9,000. We'll go heading a 170. Let's go the other way. A little more efficient this way. Sweet. Alright, that looks good. Pull up the checklist here. And let's just grab this. Alright, after start checklist. Flight controls are free and correct. Pitch and trim, we'll verify that's correct. That's looking good. Takeoff data set, engine information and crew alert system is clear. Shoulder harnesses tug are strapped. Flaps will verify. We'll configure once we're rolling out there. And after start checklist is complete. For takeoff, let's run through the instrument cockpit check here too, just for good measure. This one's on the old tablet. All right, annunciators are all out. PFD altimeter 3021, primary and standby loaded in. Attitude indicator rec, no flags. Airspeed set 0 and 0. Timer clock. Oh, now the clock's working. That's freaking sweet. All right. Compass heading indicator 139, and that's not really accurate, but it's early access. Can't ask too much. Yeah, go for it, man. No worries. No worries at all. Fortnite with the wife, that's pretty cool. Alright, VSI set 0. MFD, we got the flight plan with intercoms loaded in. VOR test will skip. Database we verified was current. Range check good. CDA selector set for departure. We'll keep it on FMS. We'll verify 1 or 2 without flags. Good. Program route, that looks great. I'll occasionally mute myself. I'm usually just read myself some fake clearances because I'm not a very good ATC. I don't do the VAT sim or anything like that. It's a little too quick for me. All right, just don't want to have to be super accurate all the time. Okay. All right, briefing the taxi here. Pulling up the taxi diagram for Eugene. Probably taking taxiway Echo to Alpha and then right turn onto Alpha all the way to Alpha 1. Holding short. Okay, before taxi checklist. ATIS, we got the weather there. Winds are calm. Visibility super clear. Components checked. Altimeter transponder. Oh, let's throw the new transponder code, even though this doesn't matter in the slightest. 1774 loaded in. It is on that. We won't need to. This thing's kind of slow. It's the only problem. All right, that looks good. Fuel remaining. We got 10,000 pounds. It should be plenty to get us there, especially with the tail end and brakes release. Taxi area cleared left or right. Brake steering, turn indicator, taxi instructions, light. We'll go and flip on the lights. They're apparently already on. Cool. Strobe, turn that off. Don't want to be blinding people. Turn off the logo light, the inspection light. Alright. And I guess I could tune in the ground and get a pushback. Oh, that's interesting. That's new. Ground services. Alright. Pushback. Even though you'd never ask ground for a pushback here. So that makes no sense. They don't control that. Alright. Disengage the parking brake. Wait for the tug to start pushing us backwards. This thing's always kind of buggy. This thing might not even work. Alright. Maybe. There we go. Okay. We're not even at a gate. That's the problem. My parking brake on? Ah, there we go. Parking brake's on. Alright, sweet. Let's switch over to CTAF here, which is going to be Tower 118.9er. Let's just throw that in here. 1189. Definitely a multi-crew aircraft, and I don't have anybody else. Alright, and let's take a look here. Taxiways look great. Perfect. That should be enough. Let's go and stop this thing. And let's end this pushback, hit the parking brake, throw the tower frequency back in. Be talking to CTAF at this time of night. Alright, announce the taxi. Maybe one of these days I'll get a little voice change or something so it sounds like it's actually going through the radio. Okay, that looks good. Heading indicator good. I think we'll go for 200 knots on departure. I don't really know the SOPs yet. Once I learn those at knowledge eval, I will run with that, but until that day comes, and we're going to take a hard echo here. Alright, we'll run a before takeoff checklist, minute fuel quantity check, transponder set, takeoff configuration. Let's get that set. Let's go flaps 2. Oh, it's already flaps 2. Well, let's flaps 2 it again. Alright, and let's jump on echo here. That's why it's nice to have a couple people in the cockpit. Alright, takeoff configuration will verify auto brake set, speed brake set to reject takeoff before takeoff checklist is complete. Let's run the in-depth version. Alright, nose wheel's good, brakes are set, flight controls verify free and correct, configuration test. That looks good, fuel shut, fuel set, that looks great. And we'll be taking our next right here onto Alpha 1. None of the signs are accurate. Maybe 2024 will fix them. Here's the hope. Alright, enunciators are clear and extinguished. Throttle is set to, auto throttle set to 200 knots. We'll hit that on departure. Go for 230 without any restrictions. Comms on tower, departure frequencies will 1196. We'll throw that in the standby. That'll be Seattle Center. Comm set, navigation set, FMS, direct to White Horse. CDI selector, keep it on FMS GPS, heading indicator, check set 345, and oh, hey, it's actually working 345, cool. Okay, that looks great. Altitude select set 9,000 feet, altimeter is set 3021, primary and standby. Fuel quantity, verify minimum fuel we'll have. Takeoff, autopilot trim. I have no idea how to set that in this plane, so we're just going to say we did. Alright, takeoff brief. I'm taking off runway 16 right, 8,000 feet, rotating at 142 knots. V1, 138, anything beyond that we're committing. And single engine climb out speed 144. Lose an engine, will fly straight out, heading 160 and pitch for 200 knots. All of the flight controls in that scenario. Any enunciators 0 to 80 knots will abort for any reason. Anything 80 and above only be for yellow or red enunciators. All the flight controls. Departure will be 170, climbing to 900,000. Expect radar vectors as we get up there, and I'll probably mute myself a little bit just to make sure that works. Cool. And that looks great. Departure procedure is a vector SID, so nothing too crazy in terms of level off altitudes. We'll climb to 370 eventually, and we'll run 10,000 foot climb confirmed checklist. Doors, windows locked, seat belts, brakes released. All that looks great. Cool. That looks great. That's going to be a late night here. It should only be an hour flight, so I should be done here soon. Alright, let's check takeoff configuration. Takeoff is okay. Really hard to hear that. That'll be fine. And we're at the end here. Alright, just announced the takeoff. Let's flip on the lights. Strobes coming on. Landing lights coming on. Taxi lights coming off. And wing inspection lights will come on. That looks great. Configuration is good. Rotating at 142. I'll have to do my own callouts here. Alright, runway 16 right, entering. No traffic on final. That looks great. And no traffic over there, aside from maybe a Skyhawk. But we're multiplayer, so we're not going to stop for him. Alright. Entering runway 16 right, 7,900 feet remaining. Using all available runway here. Oops. Overshooting it just a titch. Gotta get used to flying these big planes, man. And runway 16 right is confirmed by paint and signs. 7,000 feet. And that's pretty close to being lined up here. We'll hold the brakes, reset the cockpit view. And takeoff power is set. Everything's in the green. No enunciators. All look good. Brakes release. Zoom this in a little bit. Airspeed's alive. Cross check. 80 knots. Cross check. V1 rotates. V2. Positive rate gear coming up. And 400 feet AGL be 700 feet. Pitching for 200, 700, heading 170. Alright, sweet. Very good. We'll start pitching for 200. Flaps coming to 1. We'll engage the auto throttle. And 180 flaps coming all the way to 0. Alright, let's throw in that autopilot just because it's hard to hand fly with an Xbox controller. Altitude select, vertical speed. Oh boy, why is the heading though? That looks great. And let's go flight level change. Contact center here, switch it over. Alright, gave myself a climb to 11,000 and a left turn to 140. We'll get that going here. Okay, climb checklist. Run through that guy real quick. After takeoff, landing gears up, flaps. After takeoff, checklist complete. Airspeed, power, mixture, and flaps. And we're safe. Let's go to airspeed of 230 knots. Alright, gave myself a direct to Wild Horse crossing 8,000 feet, so we'll get that ready. Going to the flight plan here. We'll go IRL, ILR. Looking great, no issues there. Pretty looking plane. Old Eugene, Oregon. Flown over that a handful of times. 1,500 feet to go. Everything looks great. No annunciator. Shit's working perfect. Temperatures all look fine. Gonna use the old captain to take a look at the systems here. Everything's in the green there. Flight controls look good. Oh, it doesn't show you oil pressure though. It's kind of weird. Alright, there's 8,000 feet. Let's go direct to IRL. And we got a direct line. And let's go nav mode. Turning. Alright, gave myself another climb up to 250. I always mute myself because my clearances are kind of jank sometimes, so that looks cool. And let's go vertical profile, get some weather in there, see other traffic if it exists. Sweet. 10,000 feet, flip off those landing lights, and pretty smooth, we'll flip off the seatbelt sign for the virtual passengers in the back. Virtual passengers. That looks great. Direct Wild Horse, flight 230. We'll go Mach 0.72 today. And that'll work for us. Cool. Looks great. 13,500, climbing 250. System's looking fine. No weather to even consider. Those wing inspection lights too. Awkward. Okay, why the freaking heck are the nav lights not on? Nav lights on. This thing's just a little buggy. Got this plane from Flight Sim Studios or something like that. I think it's European developer. I don't entirely know. It's definitely early access. I'm missing some key components, but nothing too crazy. But there's definitely some stuff that are like just small bugs. I think they're working on it, so wasn't too bad. figured I'd dump some money into it. I don't think it'd be something you'd want to study if you're like gonna fly this plane in real life. A lot of stuff. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you know, just meter your expectations. Seems like they have a decent roadmap on stuff they want to get working. So there are some weird stuff. Usually it's like approaches don't always work. The FMS is kind of screwy. Also, it's a little bit of, you know, blind leading blind. Like, it's not really perfect. So if there's any discrepancies, you're not going to know it if you don't fly the plane a lot. So nothing too bad though. It's got like a little iPad built in, and kind of go in the back here. Wait, hang on. Come on. Sometimes the store works. Like right now it's not working. Like just stuff like it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe that's how you need. Ah, there we go. Okay. That shouldn't matter. Like that kind of stuff. So go to the back here. It kind of looks nice. I mean, it's obviously dark right now, but you know, it's daytime. It's all lit up. Looks kind of nice. So let's reset this camera. Okay, that looks great. Cool stuff there. Not much to do. Life of the airline pilot. Looks like we are about 160 out. I guess we could look at the skis 5. Maybe grab the ATIS at Salt Lake. Half of the problem with this game is that the Flight Sim 2020 is kind of jank, and then this is also kind of jank. See, it just kind of, things that wouldn't be an issue in other planes are a big issue on this, or vice versa. So we'll see what happens, but kind of locked into having to get in the next sim, basically, if you're going to dump. I mean, I paid more for the sim than I did for the actual base game, so it's like, might as well buy the new one when it comes out. So like information X-ray. Came out 1154, Zulu 11706, visibility 10, clear, temperature 1 up, -6 for the dew point, altimeter 3045. We're above 18,000, so let's set those altimeters to a standard, to a 9 or 9 or 2. That looks good. ILS 16 right, 17 in use. Looks like 16 left is closed. Working on the glide slope out here, I think. Wasatch tack in out of service. We got X-ray. That looks good. Let's take a look at that arrival. Let's go to Salt Lake. Guess I could do this. Like, all I want to see is the arrival, guys. Not asking for... Okay, there we go. Skis 5. Nothing too crazy. Oops. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to get it on the iPad over there, but I don't really care. Okay, Skis 5 starting at Burley. Got a published hold. Looks like there's no crossing restrictions anywhere. There is an expect 16,000 for landing south, which we are today. Looks like first one's at Hooper. Do that at 13,000. Deanna at 11. Ante at 11. Then Cedar, landing south at Iron. We'll probably get the boot. We'll probably get this one, honestly. Landing south, we'll go, yeah, Skis to boot, 13,000. Hinky at 11,000. Go to Iron. Track heading 164. Expect vectors to the ILS 16 right. Approach course, or... I don't think we'll land 16 left today, so that looks good. Nothing too crazy. I guess I could build out that descent profile. No VNAV in this. That's a huge to be determined point. I know a lot of people, at least reading the super duper uppity forums online everywhere, they say this thing sucks. I don't think it sucks. It's definitely early access. I don't know why it's taking so long, but they apparently have to rebuild the entire flight sim like back end to actually have the autopilot work correctly. So looks like we'll start a descent. If we're going to descend via do boot, we're at 37. That's 2,400 divided by 300. It's 80 miles. 80 miles out, maybe? Calculating this real quick with the old Napoleon Dynamite watch calculator. Yeah, about 80 miles out, so 16 plus 4, 20, 34. 34. 80 minus 34, 46. So about 4 from F4, 46 from Bleda. I'll start a descent. That doesn't look too bad. Thank God the autopilot's flying. And we'll route that to this guy. Alright, looks great there. You can probably turn that dome light off at this point. And turn on the pedestal lights. We want... See, like sometimes the stuff just doesn't work. Like this should be working. Oh, no, it is working. Hang on. Where's the flood light? Yeah, like there should be... I mean, I know there's some other lights in here. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong lights. Hang on. Overhead panel? No. Pedestal? Is it the dome lights itself? Do you have to turn those? See, it's like... Because that worked last time. I don't know if that's a bug because it worked last time or if it's a bug because it's not working. Whatever. Not too bad. I'll chill here for a minute. Alright, I'm ATC today, so I'm just going to clear myself up. Let's do flight level change, 230 knots. We are flying a slow west flight tonight, so I'm not surprised we're going about 0 fucking knots. Cool. I don't know what other cool camera angles I have. I think that sounds kind of cool. I don't know. I always forget I have that camera angle. Guess I could change the time. Oh boy. Hey, let's try this. Wish I could like make it a little. Let's do a sunrise flight just so it gets a little better as we're coming on. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm really up and down with this. Whatever. I just want if the dome lights were good. Let's see, compass, MFD, PFD, flood. Let's crank that to 100. See, like it shouldn't matter. I guess that's better. I'll leave it on. Need your loving tonight. Alright. Cool. And then let's switch it over to... let's keep it throttle here, be fine. I need your loving, I need your loving. I'm gonna go to my favorite part of the stream. I'm bored out of my mind, and that is totally legally, fully licensed, 100% not illegally, in no way, shape, or form.
Or no.
Please don't report me. And feel free to mute, or whatever. Restreaming The Office.
Strawberries in here.
Well, I saw them in there.
Well, maybe they ran away because the pizza was like, "Hey, get out of here, you stupid strawberry!"
I think when Andy finally asks me out, he's gonna try to top what he did with the drumline. I can't wait to see what he comes up with.
6,000 feet to go. It's looking great. Mach is rising.
Hey, how'd the call of your boss go?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. Oh, yeah. I fought real hard.
Liar! Wow! I heard you. I heard you.
Well, okay, but if you knew that I didn't really call my boss, then you were sort of setting me up when you asked me how I was.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's my fault. It's my fault. You need to call him.
Please don't make me call him. She needs to think that I can do my job.
Em and Jim?
Hey.
I'm Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Jerry, good to see you. Come on in. So again, my office is right back here. This is the playroom.
This is great.
The,
Gotta confess, we came a little early, so we got a quick look around.
All right, let's set a
You saw
cruise
them?
Mach
No.
of .72 today. I'll level us off for a moment.
Quick peek, didn't focus on anything.
It's lovely.
Oh. Gotta take this. Sorry.
Do it.
Hi, this is Jerry.
Okay, we've got to pull it together.
Let's actually pull it back a
He's
little bit.
uncomfortable because
Let's
you're
get the
acting
climb
weird,
going.
so you have to stop acting
What
weird.
if we just bring it up? We just put it out.
That's the weirdest possible solution to the problem.
Sorry about that. Right this way.
All right.
All right, looking great.
Really tall. It's the column by the wall. Except your chair is turned around, then nearer Oscar it be found. Except in times when Oscar.
Ooh, whoa, 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 what the heck is going on? No guarantee this thing doesn't just immediately crash.
Hi. Hi. Sir, are you Todd?
Yes?
My name is Kevin Malone. I'm an accountant at Dunder Mifflin.
Oh, you must know Phyllis. She's great.
Yeah, Phyllis is fantastic, Todd. But I did not come all of this way down the hall to talk about Phyllis.
First, let me say, I told them everything that you wanted me to say in just the way you wanted me to say it, so.
Hey, honey, I love this. I love the sound of your voice, but I really need some new information now.
Okay, I told the story of your uncle, and I have a feeling that you would have really been proud of me. Okay,
Wait a minute. Who's there?
What?
Is there somebody in the room with you? I want to see who it is.
All right.
Turn me around.
I don't, it's just.
Turn me around. Now. Hey, buddy. Is it something I said?
Hello, no. My name's Michael Scott. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Scott. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We're very excited about the merger with Sabre. I think you have a great accent.
Oh, thank you. I've been working on it since I was a little girl. To what do I owe the pleasure of this video chat?
Well, I'm a little concerned about all of these changes, to be quite frank. I think we have done things a certain way here at Dunder Mifflin for quite some time. And
Pardon me, Mr. Scott, but the last time I saw a company as mismanaged as Dunder Mifflin was my grandson's snowball company. So you'll excuse me if I prefer that you all adapt to the way we do things.
Okay, I feel very strongly that you can't just come in here and change everything that people have been doing forever. Is Christian Slater back there? Because he knows. He'd know what to do.
So listen, why don't you tell Gabe If by the end of the day,
Alright,
you
that's
can't
looking
handle the changes,
fantastic.
I have already told him, but I will tell him again if you think that'll help.
I would take it till the end of the day if I were you.
I wish this car had a flux capacitor. Then I could go back to any era that I wanted. You know where I go? I would go back to yesterday, when Dunder Mifflin was not owned by Sabre. God. It's not like I'm asking for a cure for cancer or homelessness. It's just, I want Sabre gone. Is that too much to ask? I have come here today to talk to Mr. David Wallace about this whole thing going on with Sabre. He will know exactly what to do. He is not a big fan of me dropping by unannounced. But then again, who is? Hey, hi, sorry, I hope you're not busy doing something.
No, come on.
Sure?
You look great.
You look great too.
You hungry? Just having lunch.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Teddy, look who just stopped in.
Hey!
Alright, that was great.
Very loud.
Oh, yummy. You have got the life, my friend. Can I just stay here and never go back?
Not going so well there.
Oh, man. How much time do you have?
I have a doctor's appointment next Thursday.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, how's your day going? Did you do anything cool?
No. Just chill hung out.
So I had shoes on, so I didn't think you did anything.
No. Just hanging out. Remember Michael?
Hi. Sorry, I was just in the neighborhood. Thought I'd come by and say.
No problem at all.
Alright, that looks great. Up to 370. Let's hit our Mach speed of 0.72. The thrust levers are moving.
I think maybe we'll go outside. Hey, we'll go outside. There was one thing we were curious about, your flexibility on things like Easter or Memorial Day, because we might want to change our days around a little bit.
That seems a bit premature. Don't you think? I don't even know if I have a space for you yet. I've got your holiday plans.
Oh, no, sorry. We're kind of planners. We're also flexible too, so you know what? Maybe we can just discuss it when the time comes.
Yeah, if the time comes, we can discuss it.
Is this because Jim walked in on you going to the bathroom?
Seriously, you told me?
Did it? It might have come up while we were waiting for you.
You thought that might have something to do with how the meeting is going.
No.
Maybe because it doesn't seem to be going super well.
You didn't consider the fact that it might not be going super well just because it might not be going super well.
Nope. Because we're really nice people, but you don't seem to like us.
I'm being perfectly pleasant. Did you ever consider that you might not be as charming as you think you are?
This coming from the guy who still uses a children's toilet?
I love this show. Okay.
It doesn't lock for the children's safety.
Anyone can walk them.
Destroyed.
Sabre is changing everything.
Alright.
Site blockers. They don't let us use cups. So I started thinking, who could handle this? Who would know what to do? David Wallace would know what to do.
Sitting in the hot tub with the shirt on.
What should I do, David
Love it.
Wallace?
Alright.
What can you do?
Exactly. What are you thinking?
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Don't have any ideas for you.
Yeah. But one would be good.
Hey, oh, okay, wait.
Okay.
I want to tell you about a business idea.
Okay.
Okay? You know how kids leave their toys everywhere? Right? So this is a vacuum. It's like a shop vac type of thing. Teaches kids how to pick up their own toys. Right? Baseball gloves, hacky sacks, drumsticks. You know how?
Oh, let's how do I save this goddamn thing?
No, that's the vacuum. You know, like No, it's okay. Another guy from Dunder Mifflin, Arnie from research. He's gonna drop the prototype. And it's like a shop vac. Say that? Yep.
Hey, any fun weekend plans?
You?
Actually. So nothing, no movies or parties or anything you might want to invite someone to?
It's wide open.
Okay. That's as hard as I can hit.
Hey, you know, if you want, I'm sure I could get Arnie on
Okay.
board to join us for second. Work together again.
What?
Second, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Cancel.
Oh, for frickin' heck's sake, man. iPad's crashing all over the place. Oh, for
Suck
goodness
it.
heck's sake. I'm trying to import a giant file. Okay.
No.
Wait, what do I have installed here?
No. Your family time is precious.
Come on, we can't eat an entire turkey by ourselves.
Oh, that sounds great, but I don't eat turkey anymore. I kind of don't eat solid foods anymore.
You don't eat solid foods.
I got a juicer, so I'm good. Lost 4 pounds.
That's great.
A little woozy, but it's working for me. So,
Well, hey, great to see you.
great to see you.
Great to see you. All right.
Yep. Good luck. Bye. That's okay. No, I can. All right. Here we go.
We had no choice. He was a jerk.
Who had no idea of the appropriate size of things. Big things go on big things. I mean, what if our baby had a question about shapes?
So, onwards. What's second on our list?
We're married to someone.
What's third on our list?
See you later.
Oh, my
I
God.
know.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Well, that's not David Wallace. I remember. That is some sort of weird creature that lives in David Wallace's house. Oh my God. All right. Get me out of here.
Who did this? Oscar?
It's possible that I did it on my own.
No, it's not. That is the one thing that is not possible. How did it happen?
I did it.
Okay.
You left this on my desk.
Thank you.
Oscar.
Todd, how's it going?
God, please don't tell Angelo. No, listen, I didn't just let him do the work. I actually learned things. Please don't tell him.
Kent, I said I won't.
He trained when I first started.
Really?
Hello. Is anybody home? Oh, Karen. Now, everyone, please ready their canteens so I can fill them with the sweet, sweet nectar of Gabe's homeland and then propose a toast. Here we go. You know what people say, getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to them? I feel sorry for those people. That, the best thing? Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that's good.
I'm not really one for making speeches. But I feel pretty good right now. I really do. A lot better than I did earlier, let me tell you.
That's your toast?
No, this is my toast. I think this whole thing with Saber's gonna work out. I have a very good feeling about it.
Michael, this isn't a toast. You're just thinking aloud.
Here's my toast. Orange juice.
All right, we made it to
And lightsaber.
ILR. We'll be heading to Burley. Quickly briefing the arrival.
Here's the toast. I'm gonna do it now. Raise.
Hedrick Burley started descent for 46 miles from Bleda. Bleda.
Wow, that is metallic.
Gets you in the feelings, doesn't it?
Cool.
Okay, anyway, welcome.
That's the end of the episode. Alright, switching to the next one. Do. I have the rights to stream this. Definitely just don't ask. Do.
Vancouver Court Hotel, how may I help you?
Hello, Vancouver. This is Michael Scott calling from the United States of America. I have a reservation in your fair city from February 12th to the 19th, first week of the Olympics.
Well, we're looking forward to having you, so just pull up your information here.
Okie doke.
Is there a unique spelling of your name?
Yes, it is Michael.
Right. I don't seem to have it, sir.
What? I love the Winter Olympics. My favorite sport is one involving men with brooms, and they broom the ice in front of these cylindrical discs that float gently across the ice, and they smack into one another, and no one really explains the rules, but it's mesmerizing, and there are no winners and no losers, only poetry, and it's called curdling.
I'm not seeing anything under confirmation. Could it be under affirmation?
No.
Because you have thousands of those.
No, we're just trying to look it up right now.
You did get the e-bike to my barbecue.
Come on.
Michael.
Sir, a lot of people are trying to get last-minute reservations at hotels here for the Olympics, but we've been fully booked for months.
Well, I have been booked for 3 years, so you should have that. I have always heard that British Columbia is a very nice place, but I'm not getting that from this conversation.
Wait, I got it. Confirmation code XV2RDM.
Here it is. Yeah. Seven
thank you.
nights in our Street View Economy single.
That's it?
Yeah, we changed systems a while back. I do apologize.
Okay.
How may I help you, Mr. Scott?
All right, I would like to cancel my reservation. I cannot take off 7 days from work to go to the Olympics. This place will fall apart.
There is a cancellation fee for this, sir.
Okay, put it on my card.
You want me to cancel Rio too?
Love The Office.
Today, Joe Bennett, the CEO from Sabre, is coming to see us here for the first time. She bought us sight unseen, like a mail order bride. So she's got to be kind of nervous. I mean, are we ugly? Are we smart? Are we cool? Are we too cool? Do we speak English? Why, hello.
This is Michael Scott, co-regional manager of this branch.
Pleasure to meet you, Ms. Bennett.
That's Mrs. Bennett, sweetheart. My husband and I are divorced, but I kept the Mrs. just to piss off the new one.
Oh.
Well, let's take a gander around this place.
Sure are pretty dogs.
They love a good crotch.
You sure do.
You should take that as a compliment.
Oh, I do.
Hello?
Hello?
Do you always stay seated when a lady enters the room?
I am treating you the same as a man, and I would also not stand. It's the president, or Judge Judy.
I like that.
This is accounting.
Uh-huh. Hi. Good-looking group.
Over here is Meredith Palmer, Lee Bratton.
Another couple of heartbreakers. Who's this tall drink of sun to you?
That is Jim Halbert. He is the co-regional manager of this office.
I thought this guy was the manager.
Yes, he's the co-manager. That's the other manager.
Two guys doing one job. We got to do something about that.
Got some Valentine's cards for my co-workers and my bro workers.
No.
Oh, candy?
Valentine's Day, right around the corner. Erin and I have been on 0 dates. So I got her a Valentine's Day card. But I didn't want to seem too eager, so I got cards for everyone in the whole office to kind of dilute it a little bit. Cost like $200. Pretty sure it was worth it though. It's definitely worth $50.
Look alive.
Ow! She's sticking me a paper cut on my throat. Yeah, I have this thing about men cutting or threatening to cut my throat. Don't try to cut my throat.
You know, I get why you guys want to share a job. You look real good standing there next to each other. I mean it. I mean, you're tall and thin, and you're solid and dark. I mean, have a seat.
All right. So it is okay to keep doing the co-manager thing?
No, that's ridiculous.
Okay, I'll handle this. Joe, I don't know how things work in Florida, which from your description sounds like a colorful, lawless swamp. But here, it takes two men to do one job. Where in Florida, it might take one very strong woman to do such a job. Whoa.
I'll take over. What we're doing here, Michael handles more of the big picture stuff, and I handle more of the day-to-day stuff. So together.
I think I understand.
All right.
Each of you is doing half a job.
And sometimes I can hardly handle that.
Now this is knucklehead talk. I'm not gonna buy it. You can't give me gravy and tell me it's jelly because gravy ain't sweet. Is it, Jim? Michael?
Forget the question.
I think one of you should return to sales and the other one be manager.
I humbly accept the management position.
Why would you say that?
Because, well, Jim, where I'm from, there are two types of folk. Those who ain't, and those who are knee-high on a grasshopper. Which type ain't you ain't? Y'all come back now.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna let this marinate, so you can go. You can go on. Shoot. I'm Jolene Bennett, Joe for short. I'm a breast cancer survivor, close personal friends with Nancy Pelosi. Truman Capote and I slept with 3 of the same guys. When I was a little girl, I was terrified to fly, and now I have my own pilot's license. I was Miss Mott's Applesauce, so 1966. Miss Peach Cobbler, 1967. Miss Mott's Applesauce in 1968. I am CEO of Sabre International, and I sell the best damn printers and all-in-one machines Korea can make. Pleased to meet you.
Whoa, traffic jam.
Uh-oh, traffic jam on Route 3. Beep, 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 beep. 20 people dead in a pileup.
There's blood everywhere. I got you a Valentine's.
Oh boy, long flight today. Long, my long MZ.
I thought it was relevant because I got you all those birds for Christmas, remember?
Yeah, I do. Oh, they love each other.
Oh, look at that. They sure do. I hadn't noticed.
It smells really good too.
It's Roger Federer for men. I sprayed some in there.
Andy, whoa. Thank you very much.
It's got pheromones in it.
Hey. Just choosing seats, not getting married. Chop, chop, little onion.
Joe, there's books in my chair.
That's right, darling. Now you're the proud new owner of the Sabre Handbook and my autobiography.
Why is it called Take a Good Look?
I was 26 years old, working at Kodak. My first job after Vanderbilt. It was very exciting. I took it very seriously. But I wasn't afforded the same amount of respect that the rest of the board enjoyed. One day I'd headed up to here, and I strode into the boardroom wearing nothing but a pair of spike heels, a lace push-up bra, and matching lace panties. And I took my seat, and I looked around at all of them, and I said, gentlemen, if this is all you see, then take a good look.
As a male manager, I would have never done that to you. I am nothing if not sexist.
That's setting the bar a little low, isn't it?
The only time I set the bar low is for men above.
You all must be on Disney. I can see it on your faces. I mean, what's going on now? I mean, who owns Dunder Mifflin, right? I mean, Sabre? What's that? Some company you've never heard of? Down in Tallahassee? Where is that? Near Mars?
No, we know. Texas.
Now, Dunder Mifflin has an arm's reach into all these small businesses all over the Northeast. And now we're going to take that arm and we're going to start selling printers.
I could manage my way around that.
They're the easiest to use printers in the market.
I will try to manage my excitement.
It seems like Joe feels that there might be one too many managers around here. And Michael's response seems to be to use the word manage as often as possible.
I have been saying the word manager a lot, so whenever Joe thinks manager, she thinks of me. Camel Cigarettes did the same thing with Joe Campbell by making him look like a penis. I can't even go near a cigarette now without thinking of a penis, and vice versa.
I don't know the first thing about printers.
I get it, gorgeous. I mean, I barely know my own Cadillac. And you know, sometimes I go in reverse when I want to go forwards. I nearly killed a bunch of preschoolers. That's why Gabe is here.
I'll be holding a meeting with the salesman to get you
acquainted with the printers.
I think that's it. So we're all good. Thanks all.
Whew.
Oh my god. I guess Andy likes me. I never thought of him in that way. But I guess in most romantic comedies, the guy you're supposed to be with is the one who never thought of him that way. You might have even thought he was annoying or possibly homosexual.
Hey. What are you doing?
I want to make out. No. I have some information. Did I read him say your handbook? Maybe why? Why didn't you? Our cool new boss said to read the handbook. Don't make me feel like a dork.
Easy, okay.
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 So check this out. According to the handbook, you could make more money as a salesman than as a manager. They have all these incentive programs. I ran your numbers for last year.
This is way more than I make now. I don't think I'm gonna miss being manager. You know, some people say they're not in it for the money. Well, with all due respect to this job, I think I'm definitely in it for the money.
Alright.
Hey, got a second?
Sure. Are you here to tell me that you think I would be a better manager and that you are sorry for being such a jerk?
Actually, yeah.
What?
Exactly that. I think that you absolutely deserve a manager position more than I do.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It really works.
What does?
If you visualize something, it can actually come true.
Wow.
I wonder if it works for other stuff.
Who will know?
Well, okay.
Are you visualizing something right now?
It's Saturday night and Cheryl Crow is the musical guest on SNL.
Wow.
The camera turns to me. I'm in the audience laughing. I'm in the
That's great.
I just want to.
What are you doing?
I'm going to check the TV listings to
Oh,
see
wow.
if she's host.
Nope.
No guess. Miles apart.
Alrighty.
Like such a
$1.50 to Burley, and we'll start to send about 150 miles.
But I changed my mind.
You're a great guy.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
You're really sweet. What are you reading?
That's it.
Oh, that is my favorite ocean. I love it. Why is the Atlantic Ocean the best ocean? That is simple. According to Oprah, the Pacific Ocean is pretty much just garbage. The Indian Ocean is full of pirates. The Arctic Ocean is too cold. Thank you very much. And the Southern Ocean is just the bottom of all the other oceans. Atlantic Ocean has all the history. That is where the amoebas crawled from the murky depths and became man. So, pretty cool. I'm so happy right now. No, I can't keep it a secret any longer. Jim is stepping down as salesman. I'm going to be sole manager once again. Just a salesman myself. Why? Is there an untapped gay market?
Sabre has no caps on commissions. You can make a lot more money in sales.
Where did you get that information?
Manual.
Manuel who? Well, according to the manual, there is no cap on commissions. I have been hustling. Pardon me.
Speaking of demo, we were just talking about you. Have a seat.
Okay.
Jim here is thinking about taking himself out of the running for being manager.
Yep.
Really? Oh, that is so sweet of you. But I cannot accept because I have been thinking about it, and I think I want to go back to sales.
Really?
Really? Yeah, you can take the man out of the salesman, but you can't take the sales out of salesman.
Well, I think you're both being a little too modest.
No, I really think Michael is better at being manager for so many reasons.
No, I think I would be bad. I would sleep in my office, and I would sexually harass people. I'm turning myself in right now.
You know, Michael, you have more experience in sales and management, so I'm going to defer to your judgment.
Thank you.
I think you will become the salesman, and congratulations. You're going to be the new manager of this branch.
Great. That's great. Congratulations. Have fun signing my commission checks, please.
Michael marked his heights. He's grown.
7. Meet me behind the dumpster in 90 seconds.
You're 20 minutes late. Was at another dumpster.
Just admit you lost track of time.
Ryan and I have been meeting up to work on a diabolical plot against
Oh boy, whoa, turbulence, whoa.
Wish I had a layer.
Did you see Saw?
Of course I see Saw. Miles and I see Saw all the time.
No, the movie. Did you see the movie Saw?
Oh, yeah. Great film. Almost as fun as going on a seesaw.
The reason these movies are so popular is the element of psychological torment.
I like where you're going with this. Continue.
Can we lure him into an old warehouse or something?
I have an old barn. It's kind of smelly,
Yes.
but that might be a plus. Okay, then what?
We do what they did in Saw. I mean, don't kill him, obviously. I have a mask.
Okay, that's your idea? Exactly like in the movie? That is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, suggest something else then. Don't just supposed to cut his leg off. Don't just criticize.
All right, let's brief this arrival here in Salt Lake.
I'll do these things like work with Dwight on Diabolical Plot or watch all the Michael Moore movies. And then, I don't know, I just lose interest and bail. I just got to stick with one of them, you know?
Okay, this is the
Looking
Skis
forward to
5
this plot
arrival
making me a
RNAV,
better person.
date of 02 November. In the Salt Lake, starting at Burley. We'll maintain altitude EFTA. Started descent 46 from Bleda. Cross Boot at 13,000, cross Hickey at 11,000, and go to Iron. Landing south, 16 right. Track to boot, runway 16 left, intercept the localizer, 16 right, expect radar vectors from approach course. Bolt the approach. Okay, this is the ILS localizer 16 right in Salt Lake. Date is good, frequency trip 1.9 will load in here. As we get closer, the active motor probably loaded in now.
The new IT guy, Nick. I think he's the key.
Let's take a
He's
look
very
here.
trusting
Procedure.
of friends. He's been given an awesome amount of power
Arrival.
and does not know how to wield this.
Bunker ILS, that looks great.
Why don't you just let me handle the total?
Perfect. And let's go
Okay,
with
dumb
sync
job.
heading.
Well, I think he can be
Let's fly
corrupted.
heading mode.
like
Let's go
Gollum.
VL1.
Smeagol was corrupted.
Let's
and
go
became
radio
Gollum.
nav 1
Consulting is done. I'm
1119er.
gonna bring you out to the farm and read you the entire trilogy.
And approach
Shows
course
you what an
on
idiot.
course
Let's go
1
talk to Nick, okay?
of
I might start a diabolical plot against him after
164.
this one.
Who's hungry?
Who's that?
It's ants on a lot. Like we're always having to bring them in at 2 for Who's hungry?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Do you want me to spin you on a chair and make you dizzy?
Why would I want to do that?
It's a thinking technique. All the
Oops,
different
164.
things. It keeps the brain moving, and spinning brain is a working brain.
For now, I'm just gonna.
Awesome. Let's switch back to nav
Oh,
mode.
sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
All right, 12,000-foot runway, touchdown zone 4223, works for DMR radar. We have both simultaneous approaches authorized. You're expecting owls of 2 approach lights. On the west side, it'll be far right runway, tower 132.65. Be vectored from Iron somewhere to Bunker. We'll cross Bunker at 6,000. Final approach fix. As the final approach fix will be applied in the grab the intercept at 6,000 feet, co-located from Bunker. 3 from Bunker, run a landing checklist, verified minimums, verified in this approach procedure. And verify configuration, crossing Bunker. We'll follow the glide slope, localizer down, straight in, ILS 16 right minimums, category 144.23. Go set those guys up real quick.
well, everyone got one. What did yours say?
And we'll need 1,800 RV air, gets us 200 feet above touchdown zone elevation. Misapproach point, decision altitude. We'll need the runway environment site required, in-flight visibility, stabilized approach. Misapproach procedure, if we know of all 3, we'll be climbing straight up to 4,800. 8,100 heading 300, pickup radial 249, hold at Stacko near Tooele.
Andy Bernard is a playboy. And why shouldn't he be? He's got it all.
Alright, that looks good. Got some mountains off to the east, so if we have any issues, we'll go west. Minimum safe altitude will be to the northwest, climbing above 8,600, within 25 miles of the airport. Declared runway distance, 150 knots, be 2 minutes and 7 seconds, be somewhere in there. No visual descent path guidance given for us on these gov charts. 2 NOTAMs, 16 left, 34 right close. We'll make sure we land on the right one. And 1.6 strike category 2 or 3. Not available using non-5G C-band radio altimeters. We're category 1, so no big deal there.
I
We're
don't know what
good
to tell you,
in
man.
that
I'm sorry.
to
I just
that
can't
regard.
give out the password like this.
Nick, we could make things very, very difficult for you.
Are you threatening me?
Threatening you. No.
No, that's not. Doesn't have anyone's name. That is not acceptable.
But it's just treats.
That's not. It's not just treats, Oscar. Do you know how long it took me to freeze those?
That's because you kept opening the freezer door to check if they were frozen.
Yeah, but then I left it closed, and now they're all gone. And are you? Come on, that is so not cool. You know what? Those were my homemade orange juice popsicles.
What you gonna do about it? You can't fire us anymore.
I feel terrible. Here.
I don't, that's, no.
Yuck.
What is that smell? Do you smell that? What is that? Sulfur deposit under here?
Michael, stop.
No, I'm serious. We don't have to put up. Is it the dogs? You know what? We don't have to deal with this. I'm going to remove all the sulfur maps. Michael, let's do this. No, this is too much.
I sent an email out to everyone in this area that this might be a side effect to my new allergy medication.
Are you kidding me?
No.
And you guys are okay with this? She sent an email.
Yeah.
It's not just the smell. I'm just expecting a nosebleed.
Oh my god. Yes, money can buy it.
Boise way out there. Boise.
Things like a private office. Or a nose that can't smell. The answer is no.
You scared me.
I'm sorry, I thought you saw me.
I didn't see you. And you were there all
And
along.
let's get buried.
Well, warmed it up for you, so should be good to go.
Thanks.
Bye, Andy.
That was weird.
No, it ain't. We all saw the Valentine we gave her.
I don't even know what that card said.
Believe me. I got that card. We'd be in the bathroom doing it, right?
Ew.
I don't like Kelly like that. At all.
Hey,
Let's see if the freaking VORs work.
It's funny. I used to stand in here and wish I was out there. And I'm out there and I wish I was in here.
grass is always greener.
Yeah. Except for no grass out there.
3.1.
It's just a farty dirt patch.
That's what you wanted.
I really need my job back. We made a terrible mistake here.
For the record, I fought this. Right? And now, not really sure.
Now, why the fuck would it?
We make a poster that says happy out.
Oh, I guess that would make sense.
On the way out. That's stupid. Oh, I wish we had one of those amnesia flashlights for Men in Black.
Hey, what was that movie where their boss was within earshot and they could have just gone to Dr.
It's like slightly buggy.
That's it. I don't usually have to leave the weapon line.
You two are grown-ass men.
It's like
What do I have
it
to do?
leads
Hire
the
you to get
radio.
People in here who don't need so much management.
Joe, I
kinda
am
weird.
a man of few words. I don't mince words. I try to use as few words as possible to express an idea or a thought or a concept. Along those lines,
Joe, we made a
I
mistake. I hate to say this, but I hate being a manager. I only did it because I thought it was the responsible thing to do, but the truth is, if I can make more money as a salesman, I'd like to do that at least.
And what I don't understand is that I am a great manager and a great salesman. So,
Michael's saying that he's better at being a manager, and I agree.
I'm
because
just-
he's a better people person. Weird.
and weirdly, I'm a good dog person, right, guys? See? They love me.
Fine. I don't care which one of you does which job. Just stop meeting with me to talk about it.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Finish walking my dogs for me. And don't ride them. A lot of people try to ride them.
Excuse me, everyone, please check your emails. I just sent you the following message. Coworkers, you may have received a Valentine from me. Please understand this does not mean that I like you in any way.
You don't even like us as friends.
Willis, you guys are like my closest friends. I just mean I don't like you.
5.
Please don't read into this card. Yours in professionalism, Nardog.
Why did I just receive a mass email from you that said that you don't like me? Do you realize how hard that makes me like you, Andy?
That wasn't... I like someone else.
Who?
It's not... Whether or not... I'm proud of it.
What?
Yeah, I guess Andy never liked Kelly. How about that?
Oh, it smells good in here.
Sure does. Okay, we have your space heater, your humidifier, your dehumidifier, your fan.
On the keyboard. So, a little bossa nova.
He looks happy.
Yep. Oh, wow. Lost for... What was it? 4.5 hours? New record. Low. Previous record? Henry Roscoe. Lost for 9 years, 4 months, and he only left because he had family matters to attend to. Michael?
I can't help but think that something we did made this possible.
Doug is on great. Maybe we provided the show.
Whoa, Temp, I like that.
Grade that into a piece of wood.
Care to celebrate with a drink?
I would love to. Why not?
No, because martini bars are pretentious.
Well,
No, thank you.
I'm sorry that I don't want farm boy swill like you do, you know?
It is not farm boy swill. I will show you. It is beet vodka and it is delicious.
I'm not interested in anything I can make myself.
As a manager, I felt I couldn't do that. Well, please don't make it a habit. I'm afraid I'm going to.
That's a good amount of office for us today. Let's try something else. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are about 28 miles from Burley. Just a titch over. About 50 miles from the start of the descent. Let's see here. Let's gonna look up. There we go. Tupelo.
Have you ever heard a saying, if something can go wrong, it eventually will? Well, that was certainly the case in this story, where extraordinary circumstances brought two passenger aircraft to within meters of each other.
Now, we are pure aviation nerds on this channel. Make sure to watch Mentor Pilot. It's really good. 7-3 instructor. Line check airman. Smart guy. Makes a good video. Make a good video.
There are also loads of other perks there, so go and check it out. The 21st of October 2020 was a very windy day in northern France. An intense low pressure was moving up from the Bay of Biscay towards the North Sea, and it had brought with it an unusually low jet stream, with wind speeds of up to 50 knots at an altitude of only 1,500 feet and above. A jet stream is a narrow band of extremely strong
Get
wind
it before they're
that often
gone.
travels from west to east over the northern hemisphere, but normally at a substantially higher altitude, generally around 30 to 35,000 feet. Now, when you have winds traveling that fast at lower altitudes, they will also be hitting mountains, hills, trees and buildings, and at these higher speeds, that can cause what's known as low-level turbulence. On this day, the pilots who were going to fly in the region were given significant weather forecasts showing moderate to occasionally severe low-level turbulence, especially around the Charles de Gaulle airport area in Paris, France. And at 28,000 feet en route towards Charles de Gaulle airport this morning was a Hop Airlines ERJ 170. It was being flown on behalf of Air France with the flight number Air France 7739, and it had 2 pilots, 2 cabin crew and 58 passengers on board. Now, we have no information about the experience of these pilots, but we do know that the first officer was pilot flying and the captain pilot monitoring.
Alright,
As
got
we were
our
getting closer
descent
to
clearance
the top
here.
of the SAT, the first officer handed over the controls to the captain
And we'll
started
start
setting up the
46
cockpit
Blitter.
boarding approach. She knew from the airport's automatic terminal information service, the ATIS, that she could expect vectors for an ILS approach into runway 26 left in Charles de Gaulle. The weather she received from the ATIS indicated a wind of 220 degrees 26 knots, gusting 31, visibility of 10 kilometers with clouds few at 3,300 feet, broken 4,000 feet, a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, dew point of 12, and a QNH pressure setting of 1,001 hectopascals. There was also a significant weather report attached to the ATIS, which warned of moderate to severe turbulence below 1,500 feet, as expected. The first officer knew that this would mean a quite challenging approach. The wind was reported as 40 degrees off the runway axis, meaning that in the worst case, she would have to battle crosswinds of around 20 knots in the gusts. When the winds are gusty, which means that they change in intensity, their direction also tends to change, making it even more difficult to handle. But a crosswind of 20 knots was well within the certified crosswind capability of the Embraer 170, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Hey, I have that very
given the
similar
report of
aircraft.
severe turbulence together with this crosswind, the first officer decided to add to her normal approach.
Alright, ATIS
briefing what she would do in case of a
125, let's
wind
literally
shear
come
warning.
to.
A wind shear is a potentially dangerous condition where the wind suddenly changes direction or speed, and since an aircraft gets its lift from the amount of air flowing over its wings, a sudden rapid increase or decrease of
Alright,
wind
Salt
can
Lake
have
City
quite
ATIS.
severe consequences.
Information.
Because of this, all
Yankee
aircraft
winds
manufacturers
1305,
have
visibility
stipulated
clear.
specific procedures
Visibility
that
10,
have to
sky
be
clear.
flown
Temperature
immediately
12.6,
in
altimeter
case of wind shear
3045,
warning,
Mark
or
O2.
if the
Temptation
airspeed
approach to use
flight
ILS
path starts
1716
deviating
right,
outside certain
RNAV 16
criteria,
left. Visual
even
approaches will
if
expect
the reason
16
why.
right. 16 left,
criteria
glide slip
are
out of
normally
service, watch attack
sudden
and bird
change
activity,
of
advise
15 knots
weather,
of indicated
information
airspeed,
Yankee.
or
Okay,
500
perfect.
feet per minute change of vertical speed, 5 degrees pitch altitude change, or 1 dot sudden displacement from the ILS glide slope signal, or unusual thrust level position for a significant period of time. If any of these indications are observed, it should be interpreted as the aircraft being in wind shear. Now, the precise
Yeah, I
procedure
wouldn't
followed
really agree
differ
with all
a little
those,
bit
but-
in detail between different aircraft types, but its objective remains the same: keep the aircraft flying and get away from the wind shear. In case of the ERJ 170, the procedure to follow for the pilot flying was very straightforward. Push both thrust levels up to max, press the toga buttons, and follow the flight director wind shear commands. This would keep the speed as safe as possible and keep the wings level. Remember that. The procedure also stipulated that no configuration changes were allowed, except lowering the speed brakes if they were used. This was to make sure that the aircraft didn't suddenly end up in a stall if the flaps were retracted and the speed suddenly disappeared, and that the gear would still be out if ground contact became a factor. Now, in the case of the pilot monitoring, his role wasn't specifically explained in the windshield procedure, except that he needed to call out any deviations.
Hey man, yeah, thanks for following, appreciate it. I'll if I'm here, I'll be I'll try to tune in, try to remember. I'm flying a lot, so not always online, but appreciate the follow, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for you. Don't really get a lot of viewers, kind of more do this just to use my computer and all that, so have a good one, man. Appreciate it. Alright, we are getting close. We are 49 from Blitto. We'll start our descent here in just a moment.
Getting their Airbus A320 ready for departure.
I'll follow you as well.
Let me give you a follow here. 3634, and the 4 cabin crew members had just finished boarding their 35 passengers.
Thanks for the kind words. All right, we're going down to 13,000. Let's set that up. And let's go vertical speed. We're doing about 450. It's be at about 2,300 feet a minute. Just to get down there. And as we descend, obviously, we'll start slowing just as the air gets thicker. Looking good here.
Experience of the pilots, but that will not be relevant for what's about to happen anyway. But what will be relevant is the configuration of
and let's go flip on the passenger seatbelt safe.
The airport has 4 almost parallel runways, with 27 right and left being placed on the north side of the main aprons and 26 left and right being placed on the south side. On the 21st of October, the airport was operating in its southern configuration, meaning that the departing aircraft were using runway 26 right and the arriving aircraft runway 26 left. This type of operation was known as simultaneous movements on specialized runways and was subject to special rules and regulations to make sure that the approaching and departing aircraft on the parallel runways didn't cause any risk to each other. One of those rules specified that the parallel
Alrighty, getting close, getting close.
850 meters counted from one center line to the other. In the case of Charles de Gaulle, however, this distance was only 384 meters, which was less than half of what was required. This was of course not a secret. The airport had been required to seek dispensation from these rules and were granted this because they could show that they had plans in place for immediate controller intervention in case a go-around would happen at the same time as a departure to make sure that both aircraft turned away from each other. On top of that, there had also been studies about the effects of wake turbulence and other factors, enough to convince the aviation authorities that the parallel operation, although with reduced separation, was still safe to conduct. All of this will soon become
descending down, looking great, ground speed's looking fine.
I have another
actually picking up some wind.
Let me share something quite personal with you. Trying to be both an airline pilot, content creator, and a dad can sometimes feel pretty overwhelming. And the reason that I'm bringing this up with you is because it's connected to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. I only allow companies that I have used myself to be featured on my channel. So when BetterHelp approached me, I decided to try them out and see if their therapists had any tips on how to work with myself to be more present as a dad and maybe also stop procrastinating as much. Signing up for their service was super easy. I just filled in some online forms, explained who I was and what my goals were, and then they quickly connected me with a fantastic therapist. It was super convenient to be able to connect with her directly from my mobile device, and we ended up talking for about an hour, going through exactly why I felt the way I did and what tools that she had that I could use in order to change. It was really, really great. Now, other ways they have to connect with your therapist can be done via text, chat, or via phone, whatever makes you feel more at ease. And it can always be done at times and environments that suits you. To try this out for yourself,
at
go
13
to
and a Hinky at 11. Descent from Hinky be 2,000 feet.
Using that link, you'll get a 10% discount on your first month of
7
therapy
miles
with
out.
BetterHelp.
Yeah, we'll
And
just go straight
as
out there.
always, you also help support my channel. Thank you, BetterHelp. Now back to the video. Now, as we're talking about potential conflicts between aircraft, it's worth discussing the kind of
And
barriers
let's
that
send
we have
this
enforced
to
to make
the
sure an
approach.
airborne collision can be avoided. First of all,
Right,
when we're talking about
vectors
commercial
defined.
instrument traffic, we have mandatory separation between aircraft. This means that, for example, departing aircraft must wait for a while after the first aircraft departs until the next one can go, and this can be achieved through either time separation or by verified radar distances. This kind of separation takes the speeds of different aircraft into account as well as their routing, and it stays in force throughout the entire flight, even on route where
Alright, looks like we're getting some thicker air, ground speed starting to drop off.
Aircraft following each other or crossing each other's
And
paths.
let's maintain 275.
On top of this, aircraft are also separated by altitude, with at least 1,000 feet between IFR flights and normally even more than that. This is achieved partially by eastbound flights flying on odd flight levels and westbound flights flying on even. Now, there are many more complicated and more specific rules when it comes to this, but ultimately it's up to both the pilot and air traffic control to make sure that proper separation is always maintained. We must all work proactively and speak up if we think a potential separation problem might arise, and together with the established rules, this type of mindset has created an extraordinary safe system. But of course, any system can fail, either by accident or by mistake, so if that would happen, there also needed to be a fail-safe installed, and that is the Traffic Collision and Avoidance System, TCAS. I will go into the origin of the TCAS system in a different video, but the way the system works is essentially by radio boxes in each aircraft communicating with each other. These boxes are known as transponders, and they transmit their own position,
Right,
speed and vertical
435,
speed, among
drop
other
down
things,
to
continuously
22.
to everyone around. If two of these transponders feel that they are starting to get close to each other, they will first alert the pilots to an oral traffic, which also brings up a yellow
traffic.
symbol on each aircraft navigation display,
Alright, very
showing where the
good.
concerned traffic is. That alert
Cross some
normally
blitter.
happens about 45 seconds before a potential conflict, and if nothing is done, this traffic warning then
I
turns
have
into
Salt
a
Lake City,
resolution
the
device.
Wasatch
Since
Front
conflict is
Range.
about
I've flown
25
over this
seconds away.
sketchy area
That will
many a
turn the
time.
green, yellow aircraft symbol red, and
Middle of
red
night, single
traffic
engine,
choice will
not
appear on
fun.
the pilot's primary flight display,
Not
showing
bad,
the
but
pilots how to pitch
not
in
something
order
I'd
to
really
avoid a collision.
recommend doing all
This
the
is
time.
also accompanied by an oral instruction, for example, climb, and both aircraft will receive opposite instructions. Now, if a pilot gets a resolution advisory from TCAS, that will take priority over any other previously issued clearance from air traffic control. The pilot flying is supposed to immediately disconnect the automatics and follow the TCAS command, whilst of course still making sure that the aircraft stays within safe flying parameters. The pilot monitoring have to monitor the actions of the pilot flying and as soon as possible call air traffic control and tell them their call sign and TCAS RA. This is really important because it will let the air traffic controller know that the aircraft will be deviating from their clearance and not to try and intervene, as the TCAS maneuvers of the two
412,
involved
drop it
aircraft will
to
have priority
21.
over air traffic control. This will make sure that there is no collision, even if a faulty clearance has been received or an individual mistake has been made. Now, if ATC would issue a clearance anyway, the pilots will simply respond unable, TCAS RA, and keep following the resolution advisory. This is really important. Once the transponders feel that a collision is no longer imminent, the resolution advisory will stop and an oral message saying clear of conflict will be issued. The pilot monitoring will then call air traffic control, advising them that they are clear of conflict and returning to their previously cleared altitude. From that point onward, the controller can again start issuing clearances and normal operation is resumed.
Looking great,
probably some
400,
after-port
drop it to 2,000
But one thing to point
feet
out
per
is
minute.
that
Have to
TCAS will
manually do
only
your
issue
own VNAV
vertical
here,
instructions,
folks.
never a turn. About 20 minutes prior to their expected arrival into Paris, the pilots of Flight 7739 initiated their descent from flight level 280. Given the challenging conditions, they had decided that the approach should be flown with flaps 5, which would give them a final approach speed of 142 knots, and they had carefully calculated that the wind was not exceeding their maximum allowed crosswind component. From my point of view, the preparation up until this point seems to have been
Going to skis, very slight right-hand
way.
turn for whatever reason
They
here as we
received
jump on the
several
arrival.
descent clearances and vectors, and around
Okay,
time
descent
10:17,
checklist, what's
they
wrong?
made their final turn towards runway 36 left.
Descent,
and
fast
captured
seatbelt's
the
good,
island
altimeters will
horizon.
switch at 18,000,
They
we're just
reported
about
this
there,
to
we'll
the
throw in
approach controller, who
3045.
cleared them for approach and then handed them over to Charles de Gaulle Tower for the landing clearance. As
Oops,
Flight
whoa,
7739
whoa, whoa,
called
whoa,
the tower
whoa,
and announced that
okay.
they were established on the ILS runway
Oops.
26 left, the Airbus A320 from Brussels Airlines was getting closer to the holding position for runway 26 right. The controller welcomed Flight 7739 onto the frequency, gave them the latest surface wind of 190
And
degrees,
engine
22
information
knots,
cooler
gusting
system
32,
good. Descent
and then
checklist is
cleared and
complete. We'll
land.
get ready for the landing.
Now,
Let's run
this was
our
more left crosswind than the
detailed
crew had
one.
initially calculated with, but it was still well within the crosswind limitations. The Brussels Airlines aircraft
Sent
had now
ATIS, we got it.
reached the
Fuel
holding points.
is
They were
looking
ready for
great.
departure, so
6,000
they
pounds
announced this to
remaining.
the tower controller,
Landing lights
who
flip
told
on
them
at
to
10,000
line up
flight
and wait
instruments
on
all
runway
looking
26
great.
flight. This was read back
Altitude
when the
selects at
Airbus
13,000
slowly
PS,
moving
looking
into
good.
takeoff
Let's drop it
position through the
to
howling wind outside.
1800. Altimeter's
Back in
good.
the
Arrival
cockpit
briefing
of the
GPS is
070,
programmed.
pilots were
Radio's
preparing for
tuned,
the
not
landing.
quite
They
identified yet.
configured the aircraft with gear down
CDI
and
soft
went
key,
to
keep it on
flaps 5
GPS
to
for now.
plan.
Minimum
And
set
at 1,000 feet, the
4440
aircraft was
and
fully
1800
ready to
RVR.
land with
Approach is
all
brief.
systems
Misapproach
complete.
procedure
At this
review will
point,
be a
the
climb to
first officer decided
4,800.
to
Right turn
disengage
heading
the
3081. Pick up
Now,
radio
it's
249.
pretty
Hold it
common
stacko,
that
or
we
we'll
disconnect the
probably get
automatics a
alternate
bit
missed if you have
earlier
missed.
during challenging conditions to get more of a feel for the aircraft and get ready for the landing. Handling an aircraft with gusty, almost straight crosswinds at around 30 knots is quite hard work, and it requires a lot of focus by the pilot flying. The crosswind was coming from the left in this case, meaning that the nose of the aircraft also would have pointed to the left. In order to keep tracking down the localizer, since the wind was constantly changing, the first officer would have needed to keep updating
below
her
18,
handling
that
to
looks
keep
great.
the aircraft flying straight.
Altimeter
The constant control inputs
304
would have been made even
546.
harder because of the moderate turbulence that they were also flying through. Now, a good way of thinking about how it is to fly crosswind approaches is trying to
I'm gonna
picture
slow
a
myself
boat
to
that is trying to
250.
move from one side of a river to the other.
Going to temporary pause that, get some music going here again. Kind of the arrival section, start focusing up a little bit. Ground speed 350. Be about 1,700 feet a minute. And I wish this thing had V9, pretty cool. Alright, now I'm going to pull up flight events. And I'm going to have to probably vector myself onto final again. And I found this is honestly one of the best ways of doing it, weirdly enough. And let's draw a center line out here. That looks great. Okay, we're almost to Biffy. Looks good. Flight plan looks great. Just gonna vector myself over here. Let's go ahead and 120. And let's get out to 1,000. Slow ourselves down here. I gave myself another speed restriction. Give myself some more vectors here. Approach checklist is complete. And because we're on that, let's go to VLOG source 1. Actually, let's go for number 2. Alright, IVAT, UAT, sorry, is identified. Approach course 165. Very good. Alright, gave myself the approach clearance. Let's go ahead and just arm the approach here. This tends to not work. See, it's another thing that doesn't really work well with this. And let's slow ourselves down. We're cleared for the approach way out here, so let's slow ourselves to 200. Might need to throw the boards out. Not a big deal. Approach checklist complete. Looking good. Nice view of Ogden area. And let's throw the boards out. Let's get this thing slowed. I believe flaps 1's at 230. We have the glide slope. And we'll go 8,000 on the localizer until we're established per the clearance. Kind of a weird vector, but it'll work. We've got to get this thing slowed though. Let's go even more. What's the max gear speed? I think it's 300, 250 knots. We could throw gear. Alright, let's get these things going. We are freaking screaming in here, boys. Alright, and we're cleared for the approach. We have the glide slope set in. Looks like it's 8,000 feet on this segment, so we'll keep on coming in. And then looks like we're going from flight plan here. Alright, we are 17 miles DME, Euphemia is 16.3, so crossing 16.3. We can go down to, very good, 16.3, we can go down to 7.5. Let's go vertical speed down, slowing here, let's go flaps 1. And coming on down, keep the speed brakes here. Final approach fix is bunker 7.5. We're currently 14.0. That'll work out for us. Let's go flaps 2. Right there. Flaps are set to 2 in motion. And let's slow the aircraft to 160 knots. Keep those. We can probably pull those boards back up. Alright, 12.6, we're at 13.2, we'll go down to 6,000. Oops. Let's get the altimeter set here, down to 6,000. We'll vertical speed it down. Let's go, we're below 200, let's go flaps 3 and flaps 4. And let's go vertical speed down at 12.0, down to, that looks good. Performance, get that loaded in here. Landing, runway heading 160. Temperature outside was 1 degree centigrade. And landing speeds, approach speed 128, round up to 130 on final. Alright, let's slow it to 150 now. And let's get configured for final. Can you arm the approach? The approach mode doesn't even work. Might just have to manually fly it. And let's go flaps below 180. Let's go flaps 5. Boards are in. 7.5, we were 9.6. Landing checklist. Let's run that real quick. Landing checklist. Flight attendant's good. Gear, we'll verify, is down. Looks good. Flap set, speed brake set, auto brake. We'll set that to medium, just because we're in the sim here. 6,000 feet, and let's slow to our final approach speed of 140 knots. Switching to tower. 13265 radio. Okay, I gave myself a landing clearance. Gear configuration all look great. And there's the glide slope. It's going to kick off the autopilot. And we have the airport obviously visually inside as well. Alright, coming in to land here at Salt Lake, we'll expect a left-hand turnoff onto Alpha and ground on 13277. Throw that in the standby. Or sorry, 12377. Alright, airspeed's looking good. A little high on glide slope. A little left. I'm going to zoom in here just to not cheat, get some good practice at 140 knots, looking stable. Probably all the fix we'll need here. Correction right. Oop, a little overcorrection here. It's hard to not overcorrect with the Xbox controller, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Glide slope's looking good. About 2.5 degrees is holding pretty well. Very good. 1,000 feet to go. Or 800 feet to go, sorry. Airspeed's looking great. A little high glide slope, dropping it down to center. Yeah, I'm chasing it a little bit. Keep that turn coming here. A little below glide slope, pull it up to 2.5. A little bit of left deflection. Wait for that. Okay, about 500 feet to go. Center it up here. 5-degree turn. Glide slope's getting way up on the glide slope. Get that fixed. Getting a little high here. Almost full scale deflection. Goodness gracious. Let's get that fixed. 400 feet to go. 500. Runway looking out. We got the runway environment sight. Let's go and kick off auto throttle. I hate having to do this by clicking. Not the prettiest thing ever. I hate flying with the Xbox controller, man. A little low here, no big deal. Power about 50. Not the best approach, I'll be honest, but she'll work. Power coming to idle, hold the nose up. A little bit of a southwest landing there. Okay, that looks great. Reverse thrust. But we'll take it. Alright, power going to idle. And we'll hang our next left here. Auto brakes are off. Perfect. Not the best landing, I'm not gonna lie, but man, it'd be nice to have a yoke in front of me. And also for the screen that there's a lot of excuses. Let's be honest, it just wasn't very good. Okay, switching to ground here. And we'll hold short. And I'll contact her. I'm going to taxi via Echo into the ramp. Flip on those landing lights. Sorry, the landing lights never freaking work. I always forget to turn them on. Something you would never forget in real life. Okay, that looks good. And we'll taxi Echo into the ramps, the old school thing, after landing checklist. I always forget those damn landing lights, man, if I'm not actually in the plane. Transponder set, flaps will set to up. What else did we have here? APU, go ahead and get that started. Actually, not a bad idea. Let's see if that thing actually boots up here. Tends to not boot up. And then we were just echoing to the ramp, so I think actually now we'll take the next one. Because that's our prerogative when to go into the ramp. Or not, no, obviously be calling up ramp control and all that shit. After landing checklist complete. Flaps up strobes, gonna flip the strobes off. The strobes, there. Not blinding everybody. Very good. And we'll hang her next right here. Man, I always forget to turn those landing lights on, man. I'm gonna have to. It's weird because it's not in the checklist. You'd think that would be absolutely on the checklist.
You know that team's down there, right?
I should probably get that fixed at some point.
5 or 6 guys in this thing. Desperate. Or just a hint.
Usually there's a giant terminal right in front of us that propagates, but we'll find an open slot here in the shutter now. Anyway, folks, thanks for flying. Thanks for following along. Eugene to Salt Lake, 175. Still getting used to it. Hopefully be flying these in a couple months. Which seems like forever. I spot an open gate. All looking good there. We'll shut her down. Looks like the APU was able to turn on. It's not always a given. And I see a gate right there we can pull right into. Do, do, do. Give love tonight. Dun, 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 dun. Give love. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate. That seems like a good spot. Alright, shutdown checklist. Let's run it. Oh, for God's sake. Pull this over here. Honestly, parking brake set, thrust lever start 1 and 2, engine set off. No idea why these things won't go to idle. Passenger signs, gonna flip those off. Red beacon, go and kill those guys. Kill the taxi lights. Get the nav lights off. Very good. Hydraulics, turn those off. Depressurize. That looks great. And park checklist complete. Securing sharks. External lights are all off. Let's tune in the ground so we can get. Again, this you'd never do this, but let's get the fuel supply, the bags. Let's get the catering service. Let's get the jetway connection. Let's get it all, baby. Yeah. Okay. That looks great. And secure checklist, external lights all good. GPU, APU is set off. Avionics all off. Now I'll just keep it like that. It'll be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate that Sky Suvi. Thanks for the follow. We'll get this figured out. This gets a little fast at the end. I don't know. Obviously, 2 people would help a lot, but you know, you're doing everything. You gotta give your best shot. So. Looks like that guy took off from Newport Municipal. So, anyway, here's our route of flight today. Let's get this done here. Nothing too crazy. Took off from Eugene's, flew the departure 3, gave myself a vector on the course. Flew the star in, vectored myself right on the localizer, kind of by pure luck. A lot easier when you have the FMS that actually works. Few complaints with it. I mean, the FMS, just the approaches just do not work. Still early access, no VNAV, really hurts. Not the end of the world, right? Can't get the actual approach to sequence. Like, it doesn't give you like actual sequencing for the FMS. For the GPS when you're flying this, you have to like literally look at just the DME distances. So really, you're kind of limited if you want to practically do it to be shooting like ILS approaches, because RNAVs, any RNAV GPS approach, it's just not going to work well. So. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. If you did, I'm not sure if anybody's actually watching aside from that Subi guy. Catch you next time. Not sure if I'll stream again. You never know. Could go for months. Could stream tomorrow. Could stream in 5 years. That's the way it goes. So, have a good night, everybody.